Hello folks and welcome back to the Shack. This is Joe N2DI coming to you today with the transmit audio EQ settings you need to cut through pileups with the Yaesu FTDX10. The Yaesu FTDX10 is a great rig. It is by far the best rig I've ever owned, but your audio could be lacking the punch it needs to cut through pileups if you don't have your settings just right. Today I'm going to show you how to do that with the stock mic that comes with the Yaesu FTDX10, but stick around to the end because there's a specific frequency you need to boost with this mic, otherwise you're going to sound a million miles away. Alright, are you ready to dig in? Then let's get started. I'm splitting this tutorial up for the two types of hams that there are, the impatient hams and the curious hams. I'll show you each setting you need to change with an explanation. If you just want the setting, then skip over the explanation part. The important thing to know before we get started is that these settings will only work with the stock mic. Every mic model is different, so their EQ settings will be different. Oh, and one more thing. Whenever I do a video on EQ settings, some cranky ham will always comment, "I get great reports with the stock settings, you're just a control freak." Well, if that's you, then don't change a thing. Maybe your voice sounds great with the stock settings. For the rest of us control freaks who do things like adjust their seats and mirrors in their cars before they drive, then this video is for you. Okay, in this first part, we're going to isolate your audio so you can hear yourself, and then configure the baseline settings. But before we do that, you're not going to want to transmit and cause interference. So connect your FTDX10 to a dummy load, and turn down your power so you're not blasting the dummy load for no reason. Okay, so here's the dummy load. Okay, now let's turn that power down. Now for step 2, you're going to need to hear what you're doing. So you're going to need a set of headphones. Over-the-ear headphones work best, but use whatever you have. I'm going to use these. They're a fantastic set of headphones I got from Amazon that I use with my hand mic. If you're interested in these headphones, I'll leave a link in the description below. They're like $59. So take your headphones and plug them into the phone port. Next, you're going to want to turn on the monitor function so you could hear yourself in your headphones. So select the monitor level, and then set that to something comfortable. I'm going to set mine to 50. Next, we're going to set our transmit bandwidth, and you do that by navigating to radio settings, down at the bottom here on the left, then mode SSB, and then scroll down till you see this TX BPF SEL. That's how you set your transmit bandpass filter. We're going to set this to 300-2700 Hz. So the bottom end is going to be 300 Hz and the top end is going to be 2700 Hz. So you'll be squeezing your audio into 2400 Hz wide. Now, by narrowing your transmit bandwidth like this, you're going to give it a little boost. What you're doing technically is increasing the spectral density of your voice. It's the audio equivalent of taking a flashlight with an adjustable beam width and narrowing the beam. When you focus the beam, it'll look brighter, but you're not increasing the power of the bulb itself. You're just narrowing the focus. Well, we're doing the same thing here with your audio. We're just focusing it a bit. We're tightening up that pattern. And by doing that, you're increasing the spectral density of it. And that will give you a bit of a boost. Okay, let's back up and get to the main screen. Now, in this next part, you're going to want to set your gain level so your EQ can do its job. The FTDX10 handles gain levels differently depending on whether you have your speech processor engaged or not. We're going to set this up for both, but your speech processor needs to be engaged for pileups. Now here I'll show you the settings I'm using, but you will definitely have to do this for your voice. You may have a different style than I do. You may eat the mic when you transmit, or you may hold it too far away. So you definitely have to set this for your voice. Now for start, you're going to want to make sure that your processor level is off. That guy right there. Let's switch to off. Now you need to tap your meter and switch it to ALC. Okay, this is very important. Now what we're going to be looking at here in the upper left is the ALC meter, not the S meter above it. Okay? And the critical part is where it switches over from blue to white. Now we're going to go back into the menu. Now the two settings we're going to have to set here are the mic gain and the AMC level. The mic gain is obviously your gain, but the AMC level is something completely different. What it does is it acts like a goalkeeper. It tries to limit your gain if it's getting too high. This way it can prevent you from spattering or overdriving. So you definitely don't want to set this to 100 because it'll completely disable it. I'm going to set mine to about 70. Now I'm going to key the mic and talk into it and watch that ALC meter. Aloha, aloha, testing 1 2 1 2. So you're going to want that to peak up by that blue line, right where that white and blue line divides. Hello, 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 testing 1 2 1 2, testing 1 2, aloha. So we could turn that up just a little bit. Hello, testing 1 2 1 2, testing 1 2. Maybe I'll boost that up a bit more. Hello, testing 1 2 1 2, hello, hello. Okay, that works. Now next we're going to turn our processor on. And you're going to want to set that somewhere between, say, 10 and maybe, I don't know, 22, 23. You don't want to go really high. You want to be really conservative with the setting. Usually in the mid to upper teens is where it works best. So I'm going to set mine to about 15, probably. We're going to do the same thing. Once you set this, we're going to transmit. And we're going to look at the ALC meter. Hello, hello, hello. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2 1 2, testing 1 2, hello. So we just want it to peak right at that blue line right there. Now I actually creeped over that a bit, so I'm going to back my gain off just a little bit. Hello, hello, testing 1 2 1 2, testing 1 2. Okay, that's perfect. Now for those of you who don't know what the speech processor does, it adds compression to your voice. It basically boosts the quieter syllables and it kind of squashes down the louder syllables to try to keep your volume consistent. So by doing this, it's going to boost the quieter syllables in your voice and make you more intelligible when you switch it on. Okay, in this part, we're going to set our EQ settings, and you're going to get to them by scrolling to Operation Settings down at the bottom. Okay, here, we're going to want to go to TX Audio. And you're going to see your EQ levels here. Now, there's going to be parametric EQ, frequency level, bandwidth for EQ 1, 2, and 3. We're not going to touch those for now because that's when your processor's off. The P-PRMTRC EQ 1, 2, 3 are for when your processor's engaged. So we're going to set those. So start at the first P-PRMTRC EQ 1 frequency. Now here you're going to want to set this to 300. This sets the frequency center point for you to boost or cut. Now here we're going to boost this to the max. We'll set it to 10. And then we're going to want to set the bandwidth. Now this is one of the most important settings. What this is going to control is the range of frequencies around the 300 hertz that are going to be boosted. Now it's kind of counterintuitive. The higher the number, the narrower the bandwidth is going to be. And it's going to be centered around 300 hertz. So if you have this set to 2, it's going to impact a wide swath of the frequency spectrum. So we're going to want to set this to 10. We're going to want to tighten it up. Okay, so what we're doing there is a narrow boost at 300 hertz. Now remember, we set our transmit bandpass filter to 300 to 2700 hertz. Now the bottom of that is 300 hertz. So you don't want to boost anything outside of that because that bandpass filter is going to cut that off. But you don't want to go much higher than that 300 hertz because then you'll make your voice sound nasally. So 300 is a sweet spot to give you a richer sounding voice. Now you can listen to yourself and move that frequency around a little bit, maybe to 400 hertz, 350 hertz, but around 300 hertz is where you're going to want to boost. Okay, next we're going to set the mids, that's EQ2. So we'll scroll down to that. Now this is very important. This frequency you're going to want to set to 1300 hertz. Again, we're going to set this level to 10. And the bandwidth here we're going to set a little bit wider to 2. Now, every microphone has a frequency response range. It's basically the frequencies that it will accentuate. But it sounds like there's a cut around 1300 hertz. So without this 1300 hertz boost, you're going to sound like you're very far away from the mic. Now, the last part, we're going to set the highs. That's EQ3. And we're going to set this to 2400 hertz. Again, we're going to boost the level to max. And we're going to set this to be pretty wide as well. Maybe 1 or 2 here. Now again, remember, the top of the bandpass filter is around 2700 Hertz, and we're setting a broad boost here. So there's no point in setting this very high because the bandpass filter is just going to chop it off. Now the bandpass filter is not a brick wall. It's not going to chop everything off at exactly 2700 Hertz. There's going to be a roll off, but that's where it's going to start to roll off. There's no point in boosting anything higher than that. Okay, now that we're done with that, let's back out and get back to the main menu. And here you're going to have to do something that's extremely important. You're going to want to scroll over to Mic EQ. And you're going to want to switch that on. Otherwise, the settings that we just set are not going to be applied. Okay, so that's very important. Now in this last part, we're going to want to hear these settings applied to our voice. Now listening live with the monitor function is helpful, but it's not going to give you a true representation of your voice when you transmit. So there's a few ways you can do it, but I find the easiest way is to use the built-in recording function that the Yaesu FTDX10 provides. Now to do this, you're going to need an SD card in the SD slot. If you have a card in there and it's formatted, you can record to it and play back. Now by default, the voice recorder only records the receive audio, but if you have the monitor enabled, it'll also record your transmit as well. So now what you could do is have your settings set the way you want them, make sure you still attach to the dummy load, then just press record here, and then key your mic and start talking. CQ, 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 this is November 2 Delta India calling CQ. Now we're going to hit stop. Now to play that back, all you have to do is hit the play function here. This is the list of recordings. You can see there's one. Now I'm going to pull out the headphones here so it plays it through the speaker so you can hear it. Hopefully my mic picks it up. The thing is though, I have noise canceling on the mic, so you don't hear any background noise. So this might sound a bit choppy through this mic, but let's hear.
CQ, 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 this is November 2 Delta India calling CQ.
So hopefully you could hear that. So that'll give you a true representation of what you sound like when you transmit now with these settings. Okay, now if you want, you can delete that audio. And we're going to go back to the main screen here. Okay, folks, so that's how you set up the amazing Yaesu FTDX10's transmit audio for Pileups. I hope you found that useful. Leave any questions in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them. I'll also leave a link to the headphones that I use in the description below. So from the Shack of Joe, November 2 Delta India, I wish you all good health and 73. Bye-bye.